All right. So today, real quick, let's go into real quick and talk about these stems and the quality of them. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna import a file in here real quick, right? And we're gonna take this one right here. I think this is it. So okay, great. So right, I'm gonna just take this right now and we're gonna bounce this down. All right, and now let's talk about the stems. So Cubase 15 just incorporated stems now inside of the program. You know, go audio, you can create stems, right? And basically, they added this because users were like, dealing with problems with ARA inside of here, working with stems with SpectraLayers. And Steinberg owns SpectraLayers as well. And I could only imagine and believe that the reason why they added this in here is because if you're on a Mac specifically and you own SpectraLayers, the full version, they got a mode called extreme mode. So a 3-minute song could take an eternity, and you would think, why is that? And that's because in SpectraLayers, it is not utilizing the full GPU acceleration. And what that means is, all the stemming and AI stuff requires the GPU to run, not so much the processor. But being that SpectraLayers doesn't have it, and the forum and users just complaining, including myself, like, how is it that there's other programs that's utilizing the GPU but not SpectraLayers? And of course, Steinberg said, we've reached out to Apple and yada yada. We haven't gotten nothing resolved yet. So Steinberg decides to make their own stem inside the software, which we now have. And it's great because I'm about to say, go for it. And let's watch how long this little 5-bar loop takes. And I'm not pausing it or nothing. I just hit go and bam, on my M1 Max, it went that fast. All right. And everything is separated. And I don't know why they put some on the vocals. There's no vocals here. Who knows what that was supposed to be, the string or whatever. And this is the other. All right. It just sounds bad. Now, I'm happy that they incorporated it, but it sounds bad. You know what I'm saying? My drums, it just sounds wishy-washy, just wishy-washy. Now, mind you, this is a track that I made, and I put this out in 2016 called The Unpredictable Gemini, and the song is called Threat to Society. And it was done in the studio, so it's not like some MP3 I found online or something. This is actually a track that I made a while back. And it sounds that bad. So if I want a quick idea to get something separated real quick, great. No problem. It works. You'll be pleased that you won't stop your workflow. But if I undo that and I go and I say, let's go to SpectraLayers, then things get different. So now with SpectraLayers, I'm not using SpectraLayers 12. I'm using SpectraLayers 11 because that's the last one I bought, because I felt like 12 wasn't that much better than 11, and the quality wasn't that much greater neither. And which we were going to talk about was the time it takes to get something done in SpectraLayers 12 with extreme mode. So if I go to unmix song, all right, there's no vocals here. There is a guitar here. There's no piano here. All right, there's sax and brass, but I don't know if I can get it. So I'm going to leave it there on, just who knows what it'll pick up. And I'm going to leave it in extreme mode. This is SpectraLayers 11. So if SpectraLayers 11 is taking this long, whatever SpectraLayers 12 does in extreme mode, and high quality mode, whatever, it's way more minutes longer than what it's going to take here to do this. So I'm going to let this go by, and I'm going to hit go. I'm not going to cut the video and pause it and then rewind it back, so you can see how long it's actually going to take for these 5 bars of audio that I just stemmed in Cubase, by the way, and it did it in like 3 seconds. Um, we're at 20%. Okay, and I must emphasize that this is SpectraLayers 11, and this is actually moving fast. Now, me coming from stemming for so many years, you know, I've dealt with things taking a long time to get the better result and everything. But I also noticed too that sometimes it could take long, but it still ain't giving you a great result and you settle. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't the worst stems I ever heard other places, because there's other DAWs that got it and other softwares and plugins and stuff that got it. They don't sound great neither. I'm just talking about what I like to use, and Cubase is what I use most. So I, at the present moment, I'm not really even using my stems to make stems like that inside of here. I do my stems somewhere else, and then I'll bring my stems in and I'll work, because, you know, you work smarter, not harder, as I look at it. And right now, we're still going. I'm bumping my gums, and we're still not done yet. And mind you, this is SpectraLayers 11 Pro. And SpectraLayers 12, it takes even longer than what you just seen right here. And the result ain't that much better. A little bit better, not that much. So anyway, we're done now. We're going to take all these tracks right here, right? And we're going to drag them on in here real quick. And let's just close this out. And now we have it. So now we're going to play again, and we're going to see what we got. So let's go. So let's hit the drum. Oh, they sound way better. They sound way better. At least he did get the guitar by itself for the most part. Don't sound great, but it sounds like it's something. And whatever that was. Bass sounds way better. And overall sounds just a lot cleaner. So, you know, my thing is, Steinberg, you gotta do a little better. And I know y'all want to just import these stems and make stems part of the program, which is great. But y'all really, really, really need to upgrade that and, you know, take a page out of another DAW's concept. Because it's dope to have the function, but not to really be able to use it properly, because it just sounds not that great and it takes too damn long. Not with the built-in stems, but with SpectraLayers. That's another topic for another day. I'm not even going to get into that. But I'm using SpectraLayers not even for stemming no more. I'm more using it as in repair and forensics and, you know, certain little noises or stuff. That's great for that. But for stemming, you know, they're not on the top of the list anymore. And now Cubase has its own stems in here, which it's on the bottom of the list, but it's not the worst I've ever heard. It's not like I'm using Deluxe 1 or 2, something, a Spleeter, something like that. That's bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like the beginning of the time when it started. But it ain't too far away from it. So if you ever wanted to know, you won't get the greatest results out of internal built-in stems that Cubase has, but it is great to have because it does do it mad fast. And for the most part, for a reference, you can get something done real quick and fast and not be held up by waiting times. You know what I'm saying? When you're using SpectraLayers or something else, you know? So it's in the right direction because Logic has the best stems, and they actually have way more stems and does it just as fast as these 4 stems in here, and they sound amazing. And if Apple can do it, then I know it's only a matter of Steinberg and everybody else eventually catch up. But this was just like a letdown, because it was like I wasn't even expecting Steinberg to put stems in here in the built-in, but they did. And then when they did, they just felt like they were just so behind and late to the party, you know? And I made my ran on the MP as well, doing the same thing. They finally kept stems and it sounds trash. And now they've gotten improved and they've gotten better over the year. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm asking for a lot, but I'm really not asking for a lot. But being that you added the stems in there, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they'll look into making the stem separation a lot better and clearer. And with that being said, until the next one, Ghetto Man out.